Utah Business is delighted to present the 2024 30 Women to Watch and Emerging Leaders event, celebrating the innovative women reshaping their industries and our state. Today's event is sponsored by Maschoff Brennan, Webb, Key Bank, Squire & Company, and the Grand America Hotel and the Grand Spa. And now, please welcome your Master of Ceremonies, Editor-in-Chief of Utah Business, Melanie Jones.
Welcome to the 26th Annual Utah Business 30 Women to Watch Awards Luncheon. I'm Melanie Jones, the Editor-in-Chief of Utah Business, and we're so glad you're here to celebrate with us. Last fall, Utah Business conducted an interview with fashion designer and TV star Tan France. He said, with absolutely no prodding, that Utah's competitive advantage is its women. His exact words were, "The creativity of women in Utah is what is going to continue to keep us very strong when it comes to business." What do you think about that? Yeah. I apologize for not being able to imitate his elegant accent. I've been lucky to have had some incredible opportunities in my career, but the most rewarding experience I've had is something I've never discussed publicly. Then, when I was chatting with Sarah Jensen Clayton at the VIP event last week, it all came out. For 23 years, I worked for a company with a 100% male executive team. They are excellent men, but I didn't feel like I could quite emulate their career paths or leadership styles. One day I learned that an executive position would be opening. I listened to the names being batted around and realized I wasn't excited about any of them. I wanted a role model. I thought and I sketched and I strategized a plan that scared me to death. With more than 2 decades of solid performance at this company behind me, I hoped I could afford to do something just a little bit bold. Because if I wouldn't do it, who would? Who else could risk it? A few days later, I marched into the president's office with my heart in my throat, and I campaigned on behalf of a woman who was not even on his radar, a woman who had not even thrown her hat in the ring. I had a whole slide deck and a series of uncomfortable questions for the president. He thought about it for a few weeks, and I tried hard, but was unsuccessful, not to drop continued hints. He eventually called me into his office and said, "Mel, I'm gonna do that thing that you asked me to do. But do you know what's even better than 1 female vice president? 2. For my final few years there, I got to watch 2 incredible role models up close, and so did all of the other women at our company. It was almost magical, and I had almost been too afraid to speak up. Let your work speak for you. Then be bold enough to speak up for other women. Today, we are speaking for incredible women from across Utah. They are executives, scientists, artists, entrepreneurs, public servants, and more. They come from a variety of industries, ethnicities, and communities. No matter your preferred flavor of inspiration, you'll find it in at least one of these women here today, because everyone deserves a role model. We received over 400 nominations for this award. 400, more than 400. Honorees were selected by a panel of their peers, amazing women from our community who took this responsibility very seriously. Some of them have joined us here today. Michelle De Castro from Versatile Image and the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity, Amanda Covington from the Larry H. Miller Company, Danae Hayes from BG Resource Consulting, Julia Pappas from the World Trade Center Utah, and Ashley Pay from Clyde Companies. Thank you for the time you took to read and score all of these nominations, and thank you for your perspective. I would also like to thank our presenting sponsors, Maschoff Brennan and Webb. Thanks also to our premier sponsor, Key Bank, and our primary sponsor, Squire. The photo and video shoots were sponsored by the Grand America Hotel and the Grand Spa. Our beautiful VIP reception last week was provided by FFKR Architects. Without these yes, thank you. Without these contributions, it would be impossible to host an event like this. It would not be possible to produce a magazine like you see in front of you, and it would not be possible to serve you lunch. While we know these incredible honorees would work just as hard without the recognition, we love putting them in the spotlight. They inspire our community, and they deserve a red carpet moment. We are now pleased to hear from our presenting sponsor, Maschoff Brennan. Maschoff Brennan brings a unique combination of technical know-how, business savvy, and legal acumen to the practice of intellectual property law and complex business litigation. With over 40 attorneys and offices in the tech-focused regions of Utah and California and New York, Maschoff Brennan is known for having the breadth of experiences and the forward-thinking insight needed to handle complex technological and business issues across all industries and geographic boundaries. Please welcome to the stage from Maschoff Brennan, attorney at law, Victoria Tomoko Carrington.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victoria Tomoko Carrington, and I am a patent attorney at Maschoff Brennan. On behalf of Maschoff Brennan, I would like to join Melanie Jones and Utah Business in welcoming you to this exceptional event today. 30 Women to Watch is an event those of us at Maschoff Brennan look forward to every year. It is an honor to be here among so many remarkable women who are shaping industries, breaking barriers, and driving our community forward. Seeing the incredible achievements of these women is not only inspiring, but also a powerful reminder of what we can accomplish together. We love being a sponsor of this event, as it gives us the opportunity to go beyond merely talking about supporting women to actually showing up to celebrate the amazing female leaders and trailblazers that we have here in Utah. Professional tennis player Serena Williams once said, "Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We're strongest when we cheer each other on." This quote resonates deeply with the spirit of today's event. Each honoree here today embodies the sentiment, not just through her individual successes, but by uplifting and inspiring others around them. Their stories of perseverance, innovation, and leadership light the path for countless others striving to reach their own goals. Thank you for inspiring us and for giving us the opportunity to become stronger by cheering you on. To the honorees we are recognizing today, you have each found your unique path to success, which has required you to overcome challenges and excel in your respective fields. Your contributions are vital, not just to your industries, but to our entire community. By breaking down barriers and setting new standards, you provide a roadmap for others to follow. Thank you for what you bring to our community, and thank you for your tireless efforts to ensure that future generations will stand tall and reach new and greater heights. We appreciate all that you do and are proud to get to say congratulations.
Thank you, Victoria. Now, rather than tell you about our next presenting sponsor, let's show you who they are. Please turn your attention to the video screens to see Web in action.
Yo, get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
Melanie Robinson, Web CEO, couldn't be with us here today, but she sends her regards, and we're so thankful to them for their support. I am now honored to introduce our keynote speaker and one of my personal role models, Amanda Covington. Amanda Covington is currently the Chief Corporate Affairs Officer for the Larry H. Miller Company and has more than 20 years of experience leading corporate communications and government relations strategies. She currently chairs the Utah Board of Higher Education, is an executive board member for the Utah Women's Leadership Institute, is on the advisory board for First Lady Abby Cox's Show Up initiative, and serves on the board of directors for the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce. In 2023, the Salt Lake Chamber honored her as an Athena, and she was named a Utah Business 30 Women to Watch just last year. Amanda is a graduate of the University of Utah, earning a bachelor's degree in mass communication from the Honors College and a Master of Public Administration. Amanda enjoys spending time with her husband, 2 sons, and 2 dogs. Please welcome to the stage, Amanda Covington.
Well, good afternoon. It is an honor to be here and celebrate with all of you today. I remember how I felt last year after being named one of the 30 women to watch, and I know that you and your families and your friends and your colleagues are all so appreciative to have been recognized and for what Utah Business has done for you in these last few days as they've celebrated you. There is an incredible energy here today as we celebrate some of the most capable women in Utah. What is really fun about this is I know so many of you personally, and I have had a front row seat into what you do on a daily and sometimes hourly basis. You are genuine and you are gifted, and you are so very deserving of this honor and recognition. Thank you, Utah Business and Melanie and Advisory Board, for shining a light on them. Let's give them a round of applause. What I love about the 2024 cohort is that you are women who represent a broad spectrum of industries and organizations, as well as roles, ages, backgrounds, and talents. And together you weave this vibrant and brilliant tapestry that blankets our state in such goodness and promise. Just 48 hours ago, and I'm not lying, I'm feeling a lot jet lagged, I just returned from a dream vacation with my husband. We celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary with a Mediterranean cruise. Yes, it was amazing. Thanks. We've been trying to take this trip for 15 years. Every 5 years as we've hit an anniversary, we thought it was the year. But life, as you all know, keeps pushing things back sometimes. And so the saying was true, sometimes the best things are worth the wait, and it was all I hoped for and more. Along this 2-week trip to Greece, Turkey, Italy, and Spain, we visited several ports and countless sites. We saw historical places where impactful men and women walked, talked, and served. We also ate incredible food and saw architecture and artful designs that blow your mind and take you to stories of long ago and unforgettable moments in time. 2 of the sites we visited are considered wonders of the world. One, an ancient wonder of the world, and one, a new wonder of the world. The first was the Temple of Artemis, or Diana, depending on if you're Greek or Roman, and that was at Ephesus, Turkey. And the second was the Colosseum in Rome, Italy. To stand in these places and imagine the minds, the hands, and the people associated with them was surreal. It's inspiring, and it gives me a sense that nothing is impossible. Wonders of the World are lists compiled to celebrate the incredible achievements, importance, and legacy of places that are unforgettable. There are now 3 major categories of wonders. There are the ancient wonders of the world, the new wonders of the world, and the natural wonders of the world. Hundreds of millions of people have voted on these wonders, and they have become places that top bucket lists of scholars, artists, historians, and travelers alike. The ancient and new wonders of the world are defined as these: amazing works of art and architecture that serve as a testament to the ingenuity, imagination, and sheer hard work of which human beings are capable. And natural wonders of the world are defined as carved and crafted over geologic time by heat, pressure, water, wind, and force. Think about those definitions. I believe they are applicable to the 30 women to watch and to each of us. Ingenuity, imagination, hard work, capability, all refined by heat, pressure, and force. You are wonders of your own sphere of influence and ours here in this growing but close-knit community of Utah. You make an indelible mark on those around you, the clients, customers, and people you serve, your families, and your communities. In my view, wonders are our role models. We all need one, and we can all become one. Wonders are authentic and unique. They weather and withstand the seasons of life. They take great creativity and effort, and they are the culmination of many, many minds, many hands, many hearts, many elements. So first, let's talk about standing out and being authentic and uniquely you. I remember as a young TV news producer, I would hear, "Fake it until you make it. Never let them see you sweat. Amanda, look the part." It was really frustrating to me, and I was really unsure at times because I was so new in my career. I had a lot of questions, and it was hard work. It made me sweat, mentally and physically. As my career took twists and turns and levels of responsibility became greater, I realized that we're happier and most successful when we flip the fake it until you make it to become be authentically you as you create it. I agree, as women, we need to believe in ourselves and we need to have the confidence, and sometimes we have to lean into that more than we're sure. But it doesn't mean that you can't let your own unique personality and your vulnerability shine through. Wonders of the world didn't make the list because they looked like anything else. Your role models shouldn't, and neither should you. Next, I'd love to talk about seasons and withstanding the test of time. It is one of my favorite topics to talk about. When I was in my mid-20s, I had this crazy, unimaginable, and wonderful opportunity to work for Utah's first woman governor, Olene Walker. As her newly named deputy for communications, I was in the mix of her service as governor, but I also got to witness Olene the human being, the wife, the mother, the grandmother, the neighbor, the friend. She was one of my greatest mentors, and although we had about a 45-year age difference, I looked up to her, trusted her, and wanted to learn everything I could from her. She taught me many great lessons. One of those was about the seasons of life. I was a mother of an 18-month-old baby, and I was pregnant with my second child while we were in office. And she would tell me, "Amanda, you can do it all. You just don't have to do it all at once." She had been a mother to 7 wonderful children, a supportive wife and friend to her business partner, Myron, a PTA president, a legislator, a lieutenant governor to Governor Levitt, and then governor. Some days, some of our seasons might be viewed as college or early career, or we're newlyweds or young mothers, or we're blossoming, or we're transitioning careers, or we're a community volunteer or advocate or mentor. We might be the seasoned professional, a mom of grown children, an elected official, or anything else. It feels like a lot and can be overwhelming, actually. But as I've lived some of these seasons and continue to anticipate others, I've had an aha moment that the quality of what you put into each season impacts what you harvest. So it's not just about getting through each season or the perfect Instagram moment that captures the essence. It's about what you sow and reap in each one. So let me illustrate. As women, we all have our own health seasons. And for most of my life, I ate what I wanted, exercised as much or little as I had time for, and I always counted on my body to do exactly what I needed at any given time. And if you haven't been there yet, ladies, let me tell you, it doesn't remain true for most of us as we age. I'm sorry to break it to you, but things do change. And in January, I hit a point where I couldn't figure out why I was not doing so well, why I wasn't maintaining what I always had, why I was tired and sluggish and slow and foggy. And at the worst time of the year, during the legislative session, I decided it was time to focus on overall well-being and, healthy habits. My thyroid was wonky and things were out of whack. So I dialed into working on 2 key areas: what I ate and how I moved. I became deeply committed, and in early January, I eliminated refined and processed foods and really worked on eating good things. And I also tried to really focus on good movement and consistent movement, strength training, good cardio. Well, it wasn't easy, and after several jokes in the office about my newfound habits, I actually did start to feel better. My sleep quality improved, my mood changed, my energy increased. And all of this is not a secret or shock to any of you. You've read about it, you know what to do, many of you do it. But the doing it is what made it complicated for me. My lesson learned was the quality of my nutrition and daily consistent activity was generating better outcomes. Gone were the days in college of a plate of fries and a Diet Coke just to get by. By eating amazing and vitamin-rich foods, I was feeling good, I was alive, and I was finally doing what I knew to be right. Think about this as we work through our professional and personal seasons. What we put in is what we get out. How are we showing up? Are we present? Is it the time we spend with quality and people who matter? Are we finding joy and happiness in each of our seasons? Back to a nutrition analogy, the author Arthur Brooks says, happiness is a combination of enjoyment, satisfaction, and meaning. It's like fats, proteins, and carbs. He says we all have different happiness metabolisms. Just like I had found in my own wellness metabolism, the recipe is the same for those seasonal, professional, and personal metabolisms. I encourage you to find your happiness metabolism and put in what you want to get out. Third, wonders take creativity and effort. Remember my health journey this year. Instead of watching Instagram reels of healthy salad recipes, I was actually making them and eating them. I was doing what I set out to do. And when I think about you, our 30 women to watch, our wonders, our role models, I think of doers. You are not on the sidelines watching and just wondering. You're committed, invested, and consistently doing quality work. And we, all of us here, are the benefactors of what you harvest. So what is a doer? Dictionaries list doers as a noun, a person or thing that gets things done, especially a person who gets things done with vigor and efficiency. It's a person characterized by action as distinguished from one given to contemplation. Another definition says someone who gets actively involved in something rather than just thinking or talking about it. Synonyms include achiever, motivator, and I'll add to that list, wonder. In this month's edition of Utah Business, Melanie Jones writes about role models. The women we are honoring today, I believe, are role models for each of us. They are women we watch and we emulate, and I know that I would not be anywhere where I am today without my mentors. I hope the women that you see here today can serve as the role models to you. I have seen Mayor Dawn Ramsey burn the candle from both ends and right through the middle, as she's the steward for one of the greatest cities in our state. And she's also a champion, a best friend, and an engaged mother and grandmother. I watched her grind through BYU while doing literally everything else at the same time. I've power walked, laughed, and cried with Anne Marie Levitt McDonald, who is a trailblazer in corporate America and startups, and who rises from hardships and takes risks and uses her personal sunshine to shed light. And I've served alongside Becky Wright, who knows that women in policy and government do change local outcomes, which change the world. Her daily commitment to ensuring women run for office and use their voices is impacting the future generations of women and men. And I've dined in Lavagna's Mahate's restaurant, and I've seen the impact her culinary program is having on refugees' socioeconomic well-being and their families. And I've loved the passion and personal experiences Amy Daly brings to the Children's Miracle Network to ensure one of America's greatest nonprofits continues to heal children and lift families. I could go on and on, but I hope that what you see is something very special in one or more of these women that inspires you to be the doer you want to be. I will never forget my first role model. I was 23 years old. I had just been offered a job at the Utah Department of Transportation as their public information officer, and I was called to the governor's office to meet with Vicki Varela. She was Governor Levitt's spokesperson and in charge of his communications strategy. She had responsibility for coordinating with all of the PIOs at every state agency, including mine. And when I walked into the governor's boardroom at 23 years old, I saw a woman who moved with grace. She was soft-spoken, deliberate in her words, impeccably dressed, brilliant, and strategic. And all I could remember in that moment was, I want her to know my name. So I put it out into the universe. And today, Vicki is now more than a role model. She's a mentor. She's my champion, an advisor, and a gift. We've been friends for over 20 years, and today I say I still want to be more and more like Vicki Varela. Which leads me to my final point, relationships. Wonders are the culmination of the inputs of many minds, many laborers, many natural factors. The point is we need others. You may be one who has a lot of friends and could be social every night of the week, or you may prefer a small handful of people who are more intricately involved in your life. Regardless, we need the hearts and minds and hands of others to not only sustain us in the work we do, but to enrich our lives and fill our souls. I encourage you to prioritize your relationships on every level: work, community, family, and the relationship with your very own self. About 5 years ago, I left a job that had been very stressful and unfulfilling. It was the wrong fit. And as I walked away in September 2018, I realized I had given so much of myself to this organization for over a decade, sometimes at the expense of relationships, sacrificing time with friends and family to work. Interestingly, what and who helped carry me out of those doors and into new adventures were people, my relationships. I mentioned my 25th wedding anniversary. My husband is my priority relationship, as are my children. But so are my friends and my very own mentors and role models, my community and my neighborhood. What I especially love about women, especially the women we're honoring today, is that we love to bring others along with us. We share in experiences, we nurture, we empathize, we give, and what we put in, we get back out. I believe that each of us as wonders have a responsibility to share more of ourselves, to give back, to lift, to prioritize our relationships with our fellow humans. My good friend Amy Dot Harmer, who works with Utah's refugee communities, often tells us that we're lucky, and she quotes Michael Lewis, who says, "With luck comes obligation, and you owe a debt to the unlucky." As role models and aspiring role models, what is your obligation? I ask you how you serve, and how are you feeding your relationships with others? I promise it's the relationships in the end that endure the seasons and stand the test of times and lead to being a true wonder. In closing, Melanie, I want to say that I love this year's list of wonders. They are wonderful women to watch. And I am excited that we get to hear your stories today, watch what you do, and feel of your love and friendship. In a way, in this lunch hour, we are taking our own cruise during this recognition of 30 Women to Watch, to marvel in your great work and to leave inspired. Thank you for the opportunity to celebrate with you today and to join in this celebration with you as you honor these tremendous women. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, Amanda, for sharing your story with us. Now, if you didn't know her before, I hope you see now why she is one of my personal role models. I love that woman. Let's welcome our sponsors back up to the stage. We've got Victoria here from Maschoff Brennan, and I'm going to introduce McKenna in a second. Spotlighting role models is one of our primary activities here at Utah Business. Through our events and storytelling, Utah Business highlights the ideas, innovations, and people behind Utah's business successes. That's what we're here to do today, but we've got a surprise for you. Today, we are not only recognizing the 30 Women to Watch. It's our 26th year, so we decided to mix it up a little bit. Here to tell you all about it is my amazing colleague, a person any leader would be lucky to have on their team, editor of Utah Business, McKenna Malin.
Thank you, Melanie. This year, for the first time ever, we've expanded this award to recognize 10 emerging leaders who show promise in their respective industries. These honorees come from diverse professional backgrounds, including real estate, renewable energy, live entertainment, law, and beyond. As we recognize the contributions of these women today, we also celebrate their potential to continue impacting the future of business in our state and their dedication to uplifting others along the way. From establishing the first glamping resort in Iron County to leading the global expansion of one of Utah's fastest growing e-commerce subscription businesses, helping build Southern Utah University's aviation maintenance technician program, passionately advocating for quality, affordable childcare, and more. The following individuals are paving the path for the next generation of women leaders in Utah through the work that they do. Please turn your attention to the video screens to learn more about this year's Emerging Leaders honorees.
My number one advice is to never be afraid to ask for opportunities. I've noticed as I've gone throughout my career, a lot of women, they want to do all these things, but they might be too afraid to ask. Maybe they think that they're not qualified or, they don't deserve it, which is usually wrong. And I just say, just ask for it. The worst they can say is no. And if they say no, just move on. But the best they can say is yes. And then you can get this fantastic opportunity and you'll surprise yourself.
Everything's not easy. Honestly, I think everyone doubts themselves along the way. And so it's been challenging to convince myself that I belong here and that, I'm a lawyer. Let me put on my big girl pants and get to work. But as I've put in the work, I think that's really proven to me that I do have a unique perspective to offer.
In the maintenance department overall, there are less than 10% of female mechanics out there. I'm looking forward to really helping this program grow bigger and bring in more people, more female mechanics, because right now we're on the smaller scale. I want to help it grow. I want to show that we are breaking those barriers. So that's really my next goal, is just to be an inspiration, build this program, show females that they can aspire to be bigger and better and greater.
My advice for young women looking to enter the childcare field would be to make sure you talk with a lot of other childcare providers. There's so many aspects to the childcare industry, and to have a business mentor, treat it as a business, not just a babysitting gig or something where you're doing, because it is taxing and you have to consider all the things before you start. The kids need someone who's professional, but they also need someone who loves them.
Don't wait for an invitation. If you have a good idea, if you have something to say that you think's worthwhile, don't wait for somebody to ask you. Speak up for yourselves. We as women, we bring a lot to the table that not everybody has. And I feel like we need to speak up for ourselves and share our ideas. And then also be able to be flexible and be able to pivot and be able to keep your mind and heart open to new opportunities and new ideas.
Well, we're focusing right now on getting as close to perfection as we can with what we have, making what we have at the best it can be, and then we'll focus on growth. What we really want is to have a slightly bigger, but still intimate and private retreat or resort, places families or couples or even individuals can come and just get away and connect to nature and themselves and each other.
One of the accomplishments that I'm most proud of is the day that I received my first hard hat. I received it from a large client that I still work for today, and he had my name put on it. It may seem small, but it was easily one of the most exciting days because it symbolized all the loyalty and all of the respect that I have gained in the development world, and it even had my name on it. And I still to this day keep it in my car, and I'm ready for the next project any day.
I wrote in my blurb about my parents. We didn't come from much, but they definitely taught me that if you put your head down and work hard, that you can get far. And they also taught me the value of getting a job and working in an area, an industry that you actually enjoy. So both of them were more focused on what you were doing rather than, let's say, how much you made. So really making sure that you were driven by the why. They're incredible. I look up to them in every facet of my life.
My biggest and proudest accomplishment is Mind the Gap Music Festival, which is a one-day festival that highlights diversity and trailblazers. The festival is mostly female fronted artists and non-binary artists, and we really try to elevate the stature of women's leadership. So it's a challenge that we'll be bringing to Utah businesses to make sure that they're doing their part and diversifying their workplaces.
I think in order to succeed in not just my field, but really anywhere, is to really bring your full self to work, right? Because otherwise you are constantly fighting an internal battle. And some other things that have helped me throughout have been the fact that I was able to find really good mentors. And I think having that mentorship really helped me get through it and really be successful at it.
Please welcome to the stage Alexis K. Juergens, intellectual property litigation attorney with Foley and Lardner. Aileen Longstaff, attorney with Snell and Wilmer. Amelia Wilden, A&T program manager for Southern Utah University. Anna Robbins Eck, owner of Mom Pod Co. and grant writer for Book a Pro. Brandy Green, Chief Operating Officer for Govee Inc. Diane Delamar Beeler, Glamping Retreat owner for Little Village Retreat. Geneva Blanchard, Head of Operations and Development with JWH Real Estate. Quinn McQueen, Director of Marketing and Communication for Salt Lake City Public Library System. And Tanya Birmingham, Director of Project Finance for AES.
Congratulations to our emerging leaders. We are now pleased to honor this year's 30 Women to Watch honorees. Please turn your attention to the video screen to learn more about our first honoree of the day.
I just joined Children's Miracle Network Hospitals on November 1st as the president and CEO, so I'm really spending a lot of time looking towards the future. I'm excited that we're going to be achieving a milestone here in my tenure, not too long in the distance, raising $10 billion for children's healthcare across the United States and Canada. So I'm excited to charge the team towards that and get us there. But I would also say I'm really excited about the opportunity to be in a new community and make a difference in a new place. I spent the first 23 years of my career in Illinois. I'm so excited about the opportunities that are here. So I think what's next for me is really feeling like I'm a part of the Utah community, the Utah business leaders in this area, and see what we can do together.
Please welcome to the stage President and CEO of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, Amy J. Daly.
The advice I would give to younger women coming into the life sciences is to trust in your own ability. Believe in yourself. Know that you are needed. Know that you deserve to be here. Have confidence in your ability. Have confidence in your intelligence. Have confidence in your cultural contributions. We came up with this idea of imposter syndrome, and many of us so deeply recognized it that it became sort of a defining part of who we are. So my advice is understand that that is just one aspect, but more importantly, to cultivate confidence in your own excellence and ability.
Please welcome to the stage Allison O'Mahony, Vice President of Pharmaceutical Research at Seek Labs.
If you asked me as an undergraduate in public relations what I wanted to do, I would pretty confidently say, I want to do strategic PR. Well, what I learned very early in my career that strategic simply means research-based. So that's what started my journey on this path of a research-based public relations career. And I've specialized in media measurement, helping brands understand their brand perception based off of the media and helping them learn how to prove the value of the work they're doing and improve their performance. For me, that's really strategy. So it's really rewarding to see brands learning and getting smarter and looking at companies making better decisions because of what they're learning in the media.
For her work as head of insights of Full Intel, Angela Dwyer.
So the advice I give to young people in my field is to ask yourself questions along the way. Have those check-ins for clarity. Are you enjoying what you're doing? Does this make you feel happy when you get up in the morning? Are you feeling the butterflies that scare you a bit? To lean into that, ask yourself questions. So along the way, you are committed to not only making yourself better and redefining your professional path, but also staying true to who you are.
Please give a warm welcome to the managing partner of MAM Capital, Anne-Marie Levitt McDonald.
One accomplishment I'm really proud of is actually not in the political space. It's not in technology. It's in theater. It's in arts, and it's with children. I was really excited about being able to be the founding director of our elementary school play. And that sounds like something that is not really a big accomplishment, but we were able to build this awesome program to bring in two disparate groups. My kids are in an immersion school, so they have a Chinese track and an English track, and they were self-segregating at school. And so we wanted to do something that brought unity to our community. I was able to bring in all kinds of people who thought they didn't know anything about theater, and we built something from scratch, and we saw the difference that it made in the lives of these children. We had a $30,000 operating budget. We also served hundreds of kids, and we were able to do that in a way that built community in our elementary school.
Let's give a warm welcome to Becky Wright, founder and CEO of Proximity.
I think the thing that I have learned the most is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to raise your hand when there's challenging situations. If it's an area that you haven't experienced, or if you feel like, you're out of your depth, there are people there to help you along the way. It's usually not as hard or scary as you think it's going to be. So when you see a problem, when you see an issue, just jump in, and failure isn't the end. If it doesn't work out, it's a good learning experience, and you won't know how amazing you can be until you try.
Please give a warm welcome to Savage Company's Senior Vice President of Operation Administration, Brandy Medill-Meckling.
I think it's important for young women to look at women in leadership as role models and know that they too can be in those positions. And I think it's important for young women to ask these leaders, these women leaders, to be their mentor and help guide them in those same positions. And I know they'll thrive if they do that. I started an ERG called Women with Purpose. Part of the reason I started it is to help find mentors throughout the organization that could help women really thrive, to have a place where young women felt like they could come together and have a community that they could, work with.
Please welcome to the stage Chris Ebert, Vice President of the Project Management Office for Mountain America Credit Union.
My journey into the corporate world looked a little bit different and unique. I started in mental health, actually running adolescent group homes, and made a very cognizant change to leave mental health and start in the tech space, actually starting at eBay. And my journey to Net Documents has been one of building, quite frankly, being able to be very strategic and lucky in getting opportunities in front of me. I love to build, and I love to build things from the ground up. And when I started at Net Documents, there was no HR people function, and that's where my passion lies, is really being able to start something from scratch and see it grow and develop over time.
Please welcome the Senior Vice President of People and Culture at Net Documents, Claudia Reese.
I
I view my role as a woman to be influential and inclusive, and that means valuing diverse types of work. That includes work that Tanya Riley refers to as glue work. The glue work is what holds the company together. It makes us more effective, more efficient. It really helps with the success of the company, and oftentimes that's overcharged to women. So my role is to elevate women's performance and to help them navigate their careers, and I can do that by leading by example, by valuing diverse types of work, and we create that inclusive environment where everyone's responsibility is to build products, but also great and enduring companies.
Please welcome to the stage Crystal Anderson, Vice President of Enterprise Strategy and Operations and Chief of Staff at MX Technologies.
Over 50% of the wealth in the United States is going to be in the hands of women within the next 10 years. And so it's really important that we're engaging women in financial conversations. And so my role in Utah is to just bring women to the conversation, make it comfortable for them. Sometimes it means starting wherever they're at. And I find that when I do that, it makes families healthier, families better understand their financial position and think about the things they want to achieve as a family, not only for themselves, but also in the future. And I also think it's really important to be a strong woman in Utah, to be an example for other women who are, starting their careers or trying to look and see what opportunities exist for them. Representation's been very important to me in my career, and so I try to be representation to other women, but also just be inclusive to everyone. And I think that's kind of one of the hallmarks of my management style.
Please welcome from JP Morgan Private Bank, the Managing Director, Head of Utah and Idaho, and Chairwoman of Utah Market Leadership Team, Danielle Wright.
Funny enough, one of my biggest role models has not necessarily been in my industry or my career, but I grew up playing competitive soccer, and Mia Hamm was always just a huge inspiration to me. She is in a very male-dominated sport. I am in a very male-dominated industry, and she never let that stop her, and she never backed down, and she never looked at herself as weaker or less than because she was a female. And so that's always been a huge inspiration to me, regardless of if I was in business or in my personal life. But I've been able to take that into my career, into the business world, and not let that stop me, given how male-dominated my industry is.
Please welcome to the stage Vice President of Marketing at Valcom, Darcy Peets.
very proud of what's happening in the city of South Jordan and in several areas across the state. I have the fortunate opportunity of wearing a lot of hats in this state and serving on a lot of boards and being part of a lot of projects. I'm proud of the progress being made, specifically the newest project in South Jordan, which is an urban center that we are building, and it will be an urban center in an area that has been suburban only up to this point. We have wonderful people who live there, and we need job centers. We need more transit. There's a lot happening, and I couldn't be more proud of the work and the partnerships that I've been able to have with so many of the significant companies in Utah, big business in Utah. It's a privilege for me to partner with the private industry and together make big things happen.
Please welcome Dawn R. Ramsey, Mayor of the City of South Jordan.
What advice would you give to other people in this business or in the career? To surround yourself with people who are going to support you and have great advisors, whether that's financial advisors, legal advisors, and personal friends and family that understand what you're trying to accomplish. I have 5 sisters, and I could not be more grateful for them. They're all very busy and have their own lives, but I feel like at the drop of the hat, they would stop what they're doing to help take care of me, and I would them. So having those relationships, at the end of the day, we are all people, and making money is important, but relationships are the most important.
Please give a warm welcome to the president of Barlow Family Companies, Jen Barlow.
Something I'm most proud of is in March of 2020, right before COVID hit, our company was taken private by Thoma Bravo. My boss at the time was let go in the transaction, and I was put head of all of accounting. I went through a take private transaction, COVID, which increased our business by like 4-fold, and then an IPO transaction shortly thereafter. All on my own, leading an accounting department that I was new to leading, and it really just threw me into the fire. And I had to learn, I had to make decisions quick, I had to get up to speed and get confident, and I came out of the other side being promoted to Chief Accounting Officer, so it went well.
Congratulations and welcome to the stage, Kara Rogers, Chief Accounting Officer for Instructure.
The human aspect of travel continues to be key. And while we can put a lot of information in the palm of your hands, when you need that human touch, we're available to provide that. And so that is really our focus, is to be leaders in providing an amazing human experience as well as leading edge technology. Our next goals are to more than double the company. We've doubled the company before. We have more aggressive goals to even more than double our size, utilizing the AI and the innovation that we've been working on.
give a warm welcome to Chief Revenue Officer for Christofferson Business Travel, Kathleen Roberts.
I've spent the last almost 20 years in entertainment, mostly in Hollywood. I started as a page at NBC. We wore peacock ties and blue blazers. I worked for the Today Show. I've worked all across digital, experiential, film, TV. There's really no one platform and medium that I love. I just love telling stories. Everybody has a story that needs to be told, and I think the difficult part is finding that story, and how do you frame that story, and how do you tell it in a way that an audience is going to, resonate with that? How are they going to feel something? Even if it's not a character they know, or an industry they know, or a story they've heard before, how does that connect with their heart and their soul? And I just want to find more opportunities where we can support and help the local filmmakers here.
Please welcome to the stage Kelly Spencer, Head of Brand Entertainment for XTR Entertainment.
I come packaged with a lot of interesting background, interesting history. My line to AI and data science has not been a straight one. I've meandered like a lot of people do through a lot of different things, and I have a lot of experiences that coalesce around being a really interesting fit in tech, and especially in Utah in tech. And I want to keep being in places that are going to take advantage of my full range of experiences, my full skill set. And I want to make a difference. I want to do things that matter to me. I want to do things that matter to the world. And it doesn't matter to me where I do them as long as I get to do them, and I get to do them in really meaningful ways.
Please welcome from Domo, Senior Director of AI Labs and Principal Data Scientist, Christy J. Rowley.
Well, one of the things I was able to do many years ago is to help form a 501c3. It's called Take Heart International, and because it's a 501c3, people can make tax-deductible contributions to it. And it has done some really great work. It has built a couple schools in Zambia where hundreds of children attend school. It has supported some children as they've gone on to what essentially is high school, and even to teachers' colleges and nursing colleges in the University of Zambia. And it now also supports a school in Uganda where hundreds of children attend every year.
Please give a warm welcome to the President, Director, Shareholder, and Attorney of Parr Brown Guillen Lovelace, Laura Griffin Kennedy.
To help people be the best version of themselves is really my greatest privilege. To be able to help people find their voice, to bring their passions to work, and figure out where they can best use their talents, that's really the best honor and privilege we get as leaders. I tell a lot of women in our organization to find their voice and to use it. Take your seat at the table and prove that you have something to say and something meaningful to contribute. And that's where I think I can set an example and encourage those around me to do the same. We are a part of the community and we are proud of that. So I want to make sure that we are around bringing solutions for not only our customers, but for our communities as well.
Please welcome to the stage Lauren Barnes, President of Broadband Communication Systems for L3Harris Technologies.
The three things that I'd like to mention to anybody who is looking to grow their business or to start their business is to absolutely 100% do something that they're passionate about and grow the passion into purpose and match the outer success with inner fulfillment of peace, joy, and happiness, which is what we're all looking for. Oftentimes we have it wrong where we hustle for all the material success and then start looking for the inner fulfillment. What if we started the other way around where we build a strong foundation of self and then built all our business success over that? It is much more sustainable and enjoyable and purpose-filled.
Please welcome Lavanya Mahate, founder of Saffron Valley Restaurants and Rise Culinary Institute.
There are so many badass women in so many different careers and disciplines out there. We're not hard to find. But I also think for me, I had so many mentors of all genders, of all ages, that I think everyone I meet, I can learn something from. And I surround myself with people who want my success. There have been so many amazing people that have been rooting for us and cheering for us on the sidelines. So I think finding those people and putting yourself near people who will bring you up and encourage you to do the things that you want to do. But I never could have dreamt that I would be in this position that I'm in if it hadn't been for all the people that had helped me.
Congratulations, and please give a warm welcome to Libby Haslam, architect at Studio Long Playing.
Maybe as a woman or as maybe any professional, you think like, I have to do the hardest job, I have to do the most impact, I have to work myself into the ground. And I think that's not always the case, you know, like in grad school, I was like vying for a job that I thought would pay off my loans fastest, and it would have been like 70, 80 hours a week. And I didn't get that, and I was like kind of crushed for a while, but then I got the job that I have now, and it's even better, paid off my loans in like 2 years, and every bit as good, except I'm not compromising my health, my family, anything else. So I think you can find something that works the best and allows you to spend time with your family and spend time with those you love and have a social life and everything else and be more well-rounded. You don't have to prove something. Just, reach your goals and enjoy along the way and know what's most important, and you don't have to compromise that.
Welcome to the stage, Business Development Manager of Green Hydrogen for Avangrid Renewables, Lindsay Ashby Devonis.
I would say one of my favorite parts about my job is having the freedom and kind of authority, in a sense, to make some life-changing decisions that are not normal for a company. I love that I can collaborate with the ownership and that we are taking this very compassionate approach to fostering a more nurturing and long-lasting relationship with our employees versus just this top-down leadership style. And I love that. It makes me excited every day for even the sad stories that we hear. This is a new challenge to see what we can do to help make their lives better.
Please welcome Lindsay Solis, Chief Operating Officer for Cashman.
I worked with a couple of corporate companies at first. Where it led me to was managing the Impact Hub. I knew nothing about co-working at all. And I came in, I think the space was 60% occupancy. They were in the red almost every single month. And I just kind of took a step back and thought, okay, well, let's try and figure out what this business model is. I was there every morning to open up the space and every night to close it. I was at the front. I want to say this is definitely one of my most proudest moments of my career. In about 5 to 6 months, I was able to take the space to 100% occupancy. We were no longer in the red. As I kind of worked, I took it on as though it was my business.
Please welcome Robin Cohen, Senior Vice President of Universal Media, founder of W Collective, and co-founder of Utah's 40 Over 40.
At one point in my career, I really embraced technology. In the events and entertainment industry, it's really about the emotion of what's going on. I ended up teaching myself how to develop a software and implemented it within the racetrack that I worked for at the time. And that really propelled my career at the time, and it's something that I'm very proud of. It's kind of like that notch on my belt, because that's really when I started to recognize the importance of the internal experience for employees. And by adapting and embracing, technology and software and really jumping on board with making my employees' lives easier, that is when I started to see that progression. And that's something that I would encourage, I would say anybody, is to don't be afraid of what could be, especially with technology, because it will help you in the end.
Join me in welcoming the Vice President of Expo, Events, and Exhibits at Modern Expo and Events, Celinda Horrocks.
My next big goal on my professional journey, I think very simply put, is just to keep making a difference. You know, in the line of work that I do, we got to help a lot of companies through the COVID crisis. We've been able to help a lot of companies with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And right now, we're helping them think about the implications of artificial intelligence, which are really big and scary for some people. So being able to help them tackle some of these challenges that are before us and help them prepare for the future so that we're solving the challenges that are before us and hopefully making the world a better place.
Please give a warm welcome to Sarah Jensen Clayton, Senior Partner and Global Practice Lead for Korn Ferry.
I feel like historically, gender has never been something that I really focused on. I've always been pretty good about just putting my head down and doing work, but I'm becoming more cognizant, especially as I've stepped into this role of CEO, making sure that Gnarly has internal cultural values that reflect, you know, the values of our company. So promoting diversity, making sure there's equal pay, making sure we have flexible schedules, and then of course also making sure those values are something that are outward facing as well. So the athletes and the partnerships that we have also reflect that diversity and also our sustainability mission.
Unfortunately, Shannon couldn't be here with us today due to a family emergency. We accept this award on her behalf and wish her well. A round of applause for Shannon O'Grady, Chief Executive Officer for Gnarly Nutrition. Please, once again, turn your attention to the video screens.
So I lead the student affairs team. We're involved with bringing people in, a lot of the recruitment, registration, getting people going, started on their journey. We have what we call the Titan Support Centers, so we get to support students all the way through their journey and academically wraparound supports, things that they need outside of their educational career. It's a lot of fun to be able to kind of hold their hands all the way through their education. It's awesome. To me, it really is that backbone of everything. You know, if we can make environment where everybody feels welcome to do what they truly feel in their heart that they need to do, then we're better off for it. We have people who are in the right place, getting the skills that they need and that they want, and so they thrive. And that's the goal. That's what I like to see.
Please welcome Uinta Basin Technical College Vice President of Student Affairs and a welder, Tyja Jackson.
So I think it's important to be someone that people want to emulate your behavior, that they look up to. I think about the role models in my career, and I've had the privilege of working with some of the best leaders in the industry who have inspired me to be the best version of myself. And then I just come from a great family. My parents, their work ethic and their sense of loyalty and kindness and drive has always been a real motivating force for me and a great example. And then I have a great husband who helps me be the best version of myself, who is also good and kind and driven. I have some really high standards around me, people that have set the bar high that I need to meet.
Congratulations to Tammy Olson, Recruiting and Foundation Director for Young Automotive Group.
Some advice I would give would be to make sure that you embrace your mistakes and learn from them, because it will push you forward in your growth. And say yes to the projects you really want to do and say no to the projects that you're not interested in. As part of saying no, the evaluation process of what the project looks like or program or whatever it is you're embarking upon, it's important to sit down and write it out so that you really truly understand whether or not it is important to you. Then when you go to actually say no, you have the confidence and understanding of what it is you're saying no to and why.
Let's give a big round of applause to our last honoree of the day, Wendy Elkington Stabler, founder and entrepreneur at Elkington Consulting Group. Just a few final notes as we wrap things up and get you back to your important work. First, I'd like to recognize Lynette, Hayden, and Hannah for their tireless work to create a beautiful experience for all of you. Let's give them a round of applause. Your parking is paid for. You should have received a voucher as you checked in, but if you didn't receive one, please get one from the registration desk before you leave. For comprehensive and timely updates about upcoming Utah business events and open nominations, as well as local business news, please subscribe to our free daily email newsletter by scanning the QR code on your table. Additionally, as an attendee at today's luncheon, we want to give you a complimentary one-year subscription to Utah Business Magazine. Oh, thank you. Subscription registration form is also included in the QR code on your table. The videos of our honorees, along with the entire event, will be posted to the Utah Business YouTube and also below the online article. You are welcome to share these with family, friends, and coworkers. We love to see and share your celebratory social media posts, so make sure to tag Utah Business on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn as you share about this event. And we also like to gather name tags so we can recycle them. You're welcome to either leave them on your table or with a member of one of our staff at the registration table. That concludes our event for today. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations again to the 2024 30 Women to Watch and Emerging Leaders.